Who rose as the undisputed queen in the women's 100 meters in 2024? Well, in 2024, various events, including the Paris Olympics and Diamond League events like Lausanne Diamond League 2024, were held. In all these, we saw various athletes claiming the #1 position. But if all of these races are compared, which 3 athletes finished in the fastest time in 2024? Did the well-acknowledged veteran champion of 2023 claim the top spot? Or did the mostly ignored athlete from small island nations surprise everyone? Welcome to a new episode of Black Afric Diary, a channel where we talk about Black African history, culture, arts, and civilization. It's a place where you will see the real picture of Black Africa, its stories, and the events defining it. In this episode, we will analyze who are the top 3 fastest women in the world in 2024 by seeing performances in all events. Let's get started. Let's talk about the 3rd fastest finish in women's 100 meters in 2024. This performance was given by Jau Sears on April 13, 2024, at the Tom Jones Memorial Invitational held at Percy Beard Track in Gainesville, Florida. Sears delivered a performance that will go down as one of the most sensational moments in collegiate track history. She clocked an impressive 10.77 seconds in the women's 100 meters, not only winning the race but also recording the 2nd fastest time ever by a collegiate athlete, just shy of Sha'Carri Richardson's 10.75 second record. This race was more than just a demonstration of Sears' raw speed. It was a masterclass in race execution under nearly perfect conditions, and this earned her the title of the 3rd fastest woman in 2024. However, when you know how perfectly she executed the race, it's understood easily why she dominated the women's 100 meters. The Tom Jones Memorial Invitational is renowned for its competitive atmosphere, offering athletes an early season opportunity to post world-class times. On the race day, the weather was nearly ideal for sprinting, with a wind speed of 1.6 meters per second, perfectly within the legal limit for records. Athletes from all over the country had gathered in Gainesville, but all eyes were on Jau Sears, a rising star from the University of Tennessee. Sears had been in excellent form leading up to this race, but competing against some of the nation's best sprinters added pressure. But she had defeated all her competitors mentally. Therefore, rather than buckling under expectations, she channeled the pressure into an extraordinary performance that left her competitors in the dust. As the athletes lined up at the starting blocks, the tension in the air was loud. The starter's pistol fired, and Sears exploded out of the blocks with a clean, powerful start. While many sprinters struggle to balance a strong start with maintaining speed through the middle phases of the race, Sears demonstrated a near-perfect blend of both. By the 20-meter mark, she had already established a slight lead, but it was in the next 30 meters that she truly began to separate herself from the field. Her acceleration phase was just phenomenal, something to be observed, transitioning smoothly from the powerful drive phase into top speed. By this point, Sears was fully upright, her stride lengthening as she gained momentum with each step. At 50 meters, it became clear that Sears owned the race. Her competitors, including top talents like Kayla Jackson and Rosemary Chukwuma, were already trailing, struggling to keep pace with Sears' lightning-fast speed. With every step, the gap between Sears and the rest of the field widened, her lead becoming more visible as she neared the 70-meter mark. One of the most impressive aspects of Sears' performance was her ability to maintain form under the intense pressure of such a fast race. While sprinters often tighten up in the final stages, Sears remained relaxed and in control, her upper body composed as her legs continued to churn out powerful strides. This composure allowed her to maintain speed through the final meters of the race. As she approached the finish line, the crowd could sense something special was happening. The clock stopped at 10:77 seconds as Sears crossed the line, not just securing victory, but also cementing her place in collegiate track history. Kayla Jackson and Rosemary Chukwuma, despite running strong races, finished well behind with times of 11:10 and 11:12 seconds respectively. The crowd's immediate reaction was breathtaking. They had just witnessed one of the fastest sprints ever run by a collegiate athlete, and the significance of the moment was clear to everyone present. Coaches, athletes, and spectators quickly recognized the magnitude of Sears' achievement. Her time of 10.77 seconds not only set a new personal best, but also established her as a leading contender on both the national and international stages. From a technical perspective, Sears' race was nearly flawless. Her start was explosive yet controlled, allowing her to quickly gain an advantage. The transition from the drive phase to full speed was smooth, with no noticeable drop in power, which is a critical factor in maintaining speed throughout the race. Her top-end speed, sustained from around 60 meters to the finish, is where she truly set herself apart. While many sprinters can start fast, it's those who can maintain that speed through the final stages who win at the elite level. Sears' ability to hold both form and speed in the last 40 meters was key to her exceptional time. Now let's move to the second fastest woman in the world in 2024. Before we continue further, tell us, are you enjoying the video? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black Africa. Let's continue now. It's Julian Alfred, who won the gold medal in women's 100 meters in the recent Paris Olympics, defeating Sha'Carri Richardson. On August 3, 2024, she made history at the Paris Olympic Games by winning the women's 100-meter final in 10.72 seconds at the iconic Stade de France. This victory was not just a personal achievement for Alfred, but also a monumental moment for her home country of St. Lucia, as she secured the nation's first-ever Olympic gold medal. The Stade de France was electric with anticipation, even as rain poured down, adding a layer of complexity to the already high-stakes race. Despite the challenging conditions, Alfred, positioned in lane 6, remained undaunted. With the reigning world champion Sha'Carri Richardson lined up next to her, Alfred knew she had to deliver a flawless performance. As the starting gun fired, Alfred burst out of the blocks with precision. Her start was nearly perfect, immediately establishing her as a strong contender. By the time she reached the 30-meter mark, Alfred had already edged ahead, showcasing the power and speed that had propelled her to this Olympic final. As the race entered its middle phase, Richardson, known for her explosive acceleration, tried to close the gap. However, Alfred's focus never diminished. Her strides grew longer and faster, and by the 60-meter mark, she had taken the race into her hands. With every step, Alfred maintained her impeccable form, even as the pressure mounted from the other competitors. In the final 20 meters, it was clear that Alfred was on her way to Olympic glory. She crossed the finish line in 10.72 seconds, setting a new national record for St. Lucia and achieving a personal best. Richardson finished second with a time of 10.87 seconds, followed by Melissa Jefferson, who claimed the bronze in 10.92 seconds. All 6 top finishers clocked under 11 seconds, showing the fierce competition. Yet, it was Alfred's day. Her victory not only secured her place in history, but also brought immense pride to her country as St. Lucia's first Olympic gold medalist. This race was the pinnacle of an extraordinary season for Alfred, who had already claimed the 60-meter title at the World Athletics Indoor Championships earlier in the year. Her Olympic performance cemented her status as one of the world's top sprinters, setting the stage for what promises to be an illustrious career. Now, the top spot in women's 100 meters in 2024. It's surprising to know that Sha'Carri Richardson gave the year's best performance for trials for the Paris Olympics, giving the fastest time of 10.71 seconds. However, despite this, in the Paris Olympics, she was dominated by Julian Alfred. On June 22, 2024, at Hayward Field in Eugene, Oregon, Sha'Carri Richardson took to the track, carrying not just the weight of expectations, but also the hopes of redemption and resilience. The crowd was fully aware that this race was more than just a bid for a spot on the U.S. Olympic team. It was a pivotal moment in Richardson's journey to reclaim her legacy, one that had been marred by controversy. As the athletes settled into their blocks, Richardson had already won the race in her mind. The starting pistol fired and the race was on. Richardson's start wasn't her strongest. she hesitated ever so slightly, taking a fraction of a second longer to spring from the blocks. For many, this would be a costly mistake, but for Richardson, it was just the beginning of a comeback story. Her reaction time may have been slower, but once she hit her stride, her legendary acceleration made up for the lost ground. In the first 20 meters, Richardson began to surge forward. Her head was down, her arms pumping with an intensity that showed she had programmed herself to claim the top spot. By the 40-meter mark, she had caught up to the leaders, and the crowd's excitement grew as it became clear that something extraordinary was unfolding. By the 60-meter mark, Richardson had taken the lead. Her transition into top speed was flawless, her form impeccable. With each step, the gap between her and her competitors widened. The race was now hers. Richardson's top-end speed is what sets her apart. While other sprinters might struggle to maintain their pace, Richardson only seems to get faster. By the time she reached the 80-meter mark, she had left the chasing pack far behind. The race, for all intents and purposes, was over. The final 20 meters were a showcase of Richardson's dominance. She powered through the finish line, clocking in at 10:71 seconds. It was a statement performance, one that solidified her status as the fastest woman in the United States and a top contender for Olympic gold. As she crossed the line, there was no immediate celebration, just a look of determination and focus. She had achieved what she set out to do, but her journey was far from over. The crowd erupted in applause, fully aware that they had witnessed something special. Richardson had not only won the race, but had done so in a way that left no doubt about her abilities. She had conquered not just the trials, but also her past and the immense pressure of being America's best hope in the women's 100 meters. It was unknown at that time that Sha'Carri's finish time would be the fastest in 2024, making her the fastest woman in the world. In the moments after the race, Richardson was surrounded by her fellow competitors, some congratulating her, others perhaps wondering what it would take to beat her. Her coach, who had guided her through the ups and downs of her career, embraced her with pride. This race had been a test of both speed and character, and Richardson had passed with flying colors. The media quickly gathered around her, eager to hear from the athlete who had captured the nation's attention. Richardson, now more composed, reflected on her journey. "I've grown," she said, "into a better understanding of myself, a deeper respect and appreciation for my gift in this sport." This race was a defining moment in Richardson's career, not just for the time she posted, but for what it represented. A return to form, a reclaiming of her narrative, and a bold statement that she was ready to take on the world in Paris. Hayward Field had seen many great races, but on June 22, 2024, it bore witness to the rise of a sprinter who was not just back, but better than ever. What do you think? Will Sha'Carri Richardson continue to be the fastest woman in the world? What thing do you consider the most? The overall finish time in all races, or whether the athlete claimed the gold medal in a specific race? In the comment section right below, tell us which female athlete is your favorite. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We bring videos on Black Africa, its history, rich arts and culture, and things the world should know about. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.